Good morning, YouTube. I am Bearded Ink, and today we have a special tutorial for you on SpeakerBot. While SpeakerBot is going through a new beta change to add some extra features to the Twitch handling, we're going to cover today adding the various speech engines. So you can choose the best one for your needs, easiest ones to set up, so you can get going with SpeakerBot on your channel. But we're going to cover each and every option as far as the speech engines go and cover exactly how you can get them involved. Some of them are paid services, some of them are free services, but some of them are very, very simple to set up. They require a login and then copying a key or a URL. Other ones have a complete process that you have to go through. So we're going to take our time. We're going to go through every single speech engine. Use the timestamps below to jump to the section for the speech engine you want to use. Or if you decide you want to use them all, start at the beginning here and watch all the way through and follow along. But let's go ahead and get started because this probably will end up being quite lengthy. All right. So the first thing that we need to do is go into SpeakerBot to decide which speech engine we're going to use. So I have this set up here. We're in SpeakerBot. We are currently on beta 4 version 1.5, but if you're still on 1.4, which you should be, it's going to be exactly the same as far as this part is concerned. The new changes for beta 4, which I'm not really going to cover here. I'm just going to talk about them. They're adding things for like the shared chat. So you can ignore speech TTS things that may come from another channel if you're using the shared chat. So we want to go to the settings tab here and then to the speech engines tab, and it should look something like this for you. You're going to have an add button and a remove button that should be grayed out unless you have an engine listed here. So when we click the add button, you will see these are currently all of the different speech engines that are possible. And we're just going to start at the top and we're going to go all the way down and cover them all. So the first thing you're going to do is decide, oh, I want Acapela Cloud. Now, if you click on this to add a speech engine, you'll see that the configuration comes up and it's going to ask you for the email and password. And then that's all we're going to need. So we need to go set that up. All of these links to each of these speech engines will be found in the description below as well. So you can just click right over to them while you're following along. But the first one, Acapela Cloud, we just need to make an account. So we're going to go in here, we're going to click on account, and then we're going to click on sign up. Okay, and I'm just going to make some random accounts because these aren't ones that I use. But as you can see, there is a form here that you got to fill out. So we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to use my Bearded Ink email. We're going to make a password. We're just going to do, I don't know, this. Probably. Okay, and then we're just going to make our name and then our last name. And then they want an address here. We're just going to say Main Street in the US of A. I don't have a company. I don't have a coupon code. 6 plus 0 equals 6. And we're going to see if it'll let us sign up. It is a success. So now we have to go to our mailbox and confirm our account, which I will do off screen here. So this email took about 3 minutes to come in. So just be patient. It will come. It will come with a link there that you can click. We're going to click to verify our email, and it should tell us that our account verification is done. So now we can go back to our Azure Cloud here, and let's go in and go ahead and log in. We're going to log in with our stuff that we used here. And then we get our terms of service, blah, 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 blah. We can go scroll all the way to the bottom. Clicking below, we acknowledge and agree to the restrictions of the toss. I agree. Clicking below, confirm that we have read the toss. I agree. Send confirmation. All right. So here we go. Now we are in our main voices or dashboard here. And we can, as you can see, we can buy credits. We have 0 credits left. But here are all of the different voices that you can choose from. And you see there's quite a few. It has a lot. They are basic voices. These aren't going to be like AI funny voices, really. Some of them may be a little bit on the humorous side. As you can see, Acapela is a paid service, so you will have to purchase credits. It's not cheap, but they are very, very good voices. But once we have those, we're gonna come in here. We're gonna click on Add. We're gonna go to Acapela, and then we're just gonna type in the same credentials that we used to sign up for. If we can type it correctly. Oh my God, I can't. I can't. And then our password. And we're going to click OK. And then as you can see, here we go. It's pulled in all of the acapella voices. There are 235 of them. And now we can use these voices. Of course, we have to pay for it, but there they are. Okay. So the next one then, after you go through and for full clarity, you have 0 credits, which means they just won't run. It will still trigger. It will still run the TTS, but no voice will be produced until you buy credits, and you buy them by the minute. And as you can tell, a normal TTS of about 30 or 40 words is only going to take 1 or 2 seconds to read out. So this is a little bit different. Instead of going by word or by character or by message count, which you will see in some of the other engines, this one goes by the amount of time. So when you go to purchase here, you're going to come in, you can select your package, and you have 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. You can get 2 hours a month on a subscription. The prices will vary based on where you are at, but they are in euros. So for a 30-day subscription, you're looking at about 70 euros per month. And you're going to pay for 6 months at a time. So I would recommend, especially if you're just starting out, you do like a one-time of a 2 or 5 minute here. But they're not that cheap. 50 euros for 5 minutes is quite a lot. So this is going to be one of the lesser used, probably just because of that method. But if you are already on the Acapela on the cloud, or if you have reasons to want to use them, that is here. And of course, they do accept PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, and Citibank. So you're good to go there. Okay. The next add-on here is going to be Amazon Polly. Now, Amazon Polly is one of the ones that I use. So it will give you an access key and a secret access key. This is what you will need to configure. So we're going to go to the Amazon Polly here, and we're going to have to do quite a bit of setup. You're going to have to create an Amazon Web Services account, and then you can actually go in. Now, the good thing about Amazon is that you pay per character, but you pay for 1 million characters at a time. And as you can see right here at the top, once you sign up, you're going to get 5 million characters free per month for a full year. So with Amazon Polly, you don't have to pay a single cent for an entire year unless you go over 5 million characters, which is fuck ton. So this is a really good one to sign up with. And then just so you know, because I have been using this for over a year now, my average cost per month is about 7 to 14 cents a month. Yeah. So you pay for what you use. And obviously, you're not going to use more than probably 1 million characters at the most. So it's like 3 cents, I think it's 3 cents per 10,000 characters, and that does include spaces. But there you go. It's not very expensive at all. So 17 to 20 cents a month on average. I think you can do that. So what we want to do is we want to create an AWS account. If you already have an Amazon account, you can use the exact same stuff for that. And then you're just going to pick a name. So we're just going to say Bearded here, if I can spell it. And then we're going to verify our email address. Okay. So once we confirm, they're going to send us an email with a verification code that we need to type in here. There it is. We're going to have a code that we're going to put in. I'm just going to go ahead and do that because it expires as soon as you use it. It's you. Your email address has been successfully verified. Okay. So now we need to create a password. I'm just going to use my normal one here. And then we're going to retype it. And then we're going to continue with this setup. Now, this does take a little bit of time, so bear with me. We're not going to save that. So how do we plan to use this? We're going to do personal. You're just going to put in your first and last name. Doesn't really matter. Your phone number. I'm going to blur this out, but there you go. Your address. Okay. Once you have your address and personal information put in, you're going to have to put in your credit card details, which includes your expiration date, your security CCV code, your card holder name, and your address. But note that they will not charge you for that first year, but they may put a temporary hold of $1 just to make sure that the card is active. So I'm going to go ahead and put that information in as well. Okay. And then once we have all of the personal information put in, we're going to add, it's going to ask us to send a SMS text. So we're going to put in our phone number. We're going to get a code just like we did with the email. And we're going to put that code in. It just verifies that the phone number is actually yours. So don't be putting fake numbers in. Okay. Once we have our code sent to our text, we're going to come in. Now, this is where you can select a plan. There's the basic support, developer support, business. We want the basic. It's free. That's all we need. And we're going to complete the sign up here. Okay. Now we can go to our management console. So now that we have our AWS account, then we're going to go to our management console. And this is where the fun begins. Now, this is one of the more difficult ones to set up and get going. So that's why we're going to walk you through it. It will take you through a little bit of a tutorial here. Just get rid of that. We're done here. We're done there. Done. Okay. Before we can actually have the Amazon Poly connected, we need to create what Amazon calls an IAM account, which is a secondary account that uses the AI stuff. So we're going to type in the search bar up here. We're going to come in here top left in the search bar. We're going to type in IAM. And we want to go ahead and click on IAM. Okay, so now that we're on the IAM dashboard, we're going to come over here to the left-hand side and we're going to click on users. And then we want to go over to the right and we want to click on create a user. We're going to give this user a name. So here I'm just going to type in Bearded Inc. Provide user access to the AWS management console. We want to say yes to this. We want to create an IAM user. We're going to set a custom password. We don't want them to have to create a new password at the next sign in because, you know, this is us basically. So then we're just going to click next down here. We're not going to save this. We want to add user to the group and we want to create a new group. So we're going to come over here right here and we're going to click create group. Okay, we're going to give the group a name. We're just going to call this one SpeakerBot. Is fine. And then what we need is we need the Amazon Poly full access. So we can type in the search box here, Amazon Poly full access. And you can see it right here. We can move this over. We want full access. So we're going to click this box and we're going to create user group. So now we have the group SpeakerBot. We have Amazon Poly full access. Okay, once we have all of that verified and it is there, we're going to go ahead and come down here and we're going to click on next. And this is going to give us the user detail, the permissions and tags here that you can see. All right, let me zoom out so you can see the whole page here. So we have our user, which is Bearded Inc. He's got a custom password and he does not require a password reset. So now we're going to come down in the bottom right. Instead of next, it says create user. So that's what we want to do. We're going to go ahead and verify all of that. So now he's done and we can return to the users list. That's fine. And this is just basically, we haven't viewed their password. We know what it is because we're the ones that just set it. So we can say continue. and it's going to populate all of the stuff for that user and the group that they are in. The next thing we want to do is on this page, we're actually going to click the username. This should be your username. And then we're going to come right here to security credentials on this new page. And we're going to click on that. And this is going to tell you the console sign-in time and all of this here. We want to come down here to the access keys. So let me zoom out a little bit here so you can see. So from the top, we have the summary, console sign-in, the multi-factor authentication, which this is like your two-factor authentication, but we got this all logged up anyway with our security for Amazon. So the access key. Okay, so under access keys here, let me zoom in for you again. There's going to be a create access key button. We're going to go ahead and click on that. We want the command line interface. So we're going to click this check mark here. It's going to give us alternative recommended. I understand the recommended one to create the access key. So we're going to click this little box. And then we're going to click next. Then we're going to give it a description. Again, this can just be SpeakerBot. If you want to access, if you want, doesn't matter. This is optional, but you need to put something in here just so you know what it is. We're going to create the access key. All right. So we've created our keys. So we have an access key here and we have a secret key, which you don't ever want to show to anybody ever. So we're going to copy our access key and we're going to come back into SpeakerBot here. And this is where you're going to put your access key right there. And then the same thing with the secret key. You're just going to click the little logo here to copy the secret access key. And we're going to come in here and then you're going to paste it in the secret access key box. And then once you've done that, you click OK, it'll log in. And now you can see Amazon Poly is on our list. And if we log out or back out, I'm sorry, we have the 147 voices that for Amazon Poly that we can now use. Now that we have our Amazon voices, we're just going to go back and finish up here. Once we've done everything here, we're going to click on done. It's going to get the continue without review. Hopefully you have saved your access keys and we're going to click on continue. And now everything is here and we don't need this site anymore. You can go ahead and just log out or close out or whatever. And you will be good to go. Up next on our voices, we have Azure. So with Azure, you can see we got a subscription key and a service region. So we're going to need that information there for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to come over to the Azure. And this is the Microsoft Azure AI Suite, not to be confused with the SAPI 5, which we will get to in a moment. Azure is another one where they do, it is a paid service, but they do have a free tier. So we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and click on Get Started with Azure, the big blue button right there. And we're going to try it for free. You get 12 months of free services, including Azure AI services, or you can go ahead and click on the pay as you go. If you do the pay as you go, you get Azure free up to 30 days, and you can cancel anytime within that 30 days and you don't have to do anything. But we're just going to try for free for now. It's going to be the exact same process. You're going to need a Microsoft account. If you don't have one, you can create one, and we're just going to sign in with that. I'm going to go ahead and do that because I have one. We're going to get another verification email. Okay, once you have the code, they're upgrading their terms. We're going to agree to that. Don't show this again, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so once we're actually signed in, again, you're going to have to come up with your profile stuff. Doesn't really matter what you want. We have to verify our identity. So we're going to have to put our phone number in, our address again, and then agree to all of this stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we're going to have to, once you get everything done with your profile, you're going to have to enter your card information. Now, I'll tell you right now, it's just to make sure that it is an actual account. This is all pretty much standard across any of these paid services. They just need to verify that you actually are you and you have the authorization to make these payments. But because we're on the free trial and we have 12 months free to test it out, or even on the pay as you go and the free 30 days, We're not going to have any charges. They're just going to simply make sure that the card is active. So you're going to have to enter all of that information. So I'm going to do that real quick as well. Now, once we're got that entered, it's going to ask us to protect our account. We say yes. Who cares about this shit? It's just confirming all of our information. This will take a couple of minutes because it's Microsoft. All right. Now, oh, Microsoft, I don't care. We're ready to start with Azure. Now, if you remember way back when we first started this, we come in here and go to Azure Cognitive Services. We need the subscription key and the service region. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go directly to our Azure portal. It's going to open a new tab or a new window for you. And then we want to find all of our stuff. So what we want to do is we want to look in here. We want to find speech, Azure AI speech services. Right. And then we want to click on create our subscription. We're going to create a new group. Again, this one, we're just going to name it again, SpeakerBot. The region here, you're going to pick what region is best for you. I'm going to go with Eastern United States. We're going to give it a name. This is the name of our resource. Again, we're just going to name it SpeakerBot service. We're going to use the free FO. So we have here our name. This is going to actually be like a web address. So make sure you follow along, no spaces, special characters, etc. The pricing tier, you're just going to click on here, the free or standard. Obviously, we want the free tier, and we're going to click on review and create. And we're going to review everything. We're going to say yes. We're going to click on create. It's going to come up here. It's telling you it's getting everything ready. And then here we go with our stuff. Once it's all set, now we need to get our creation ID. So here we have our keys. We have 2 different keys and our region, right? And that's what we needed in SpeakerBot here. So we need our subscription key and our service region. Now it gives you 2 keys because it tells you right here, it tells you that it wants you to refresh them every so often. And so you can use one. So we're going to go ahead and copy key 1. But if we want to refresh this one, we can change things to key 2 while we refresh key 1. So that way it always constantly works. But how often you reset your keys and stuff like that is up to you. So we're going to go back into SpeakerBot here. We're going to put in our key. We're going to paste that in. And then our service region, we're just going to go ahead and copy it here just so we don't make any typos or any mistakes. And make sure everything matches. We're going to click OK. And then there, as you can see, it shows up on the list. And we have 564 voices there. And we have these all free for the next 12 months. There are no character limitations or anything like that. But after the 12 months is over, it will turn into a pay-as-you-go. Now, you will get an email towards the end of the 11th month saying you're about to start your pay-as-you-go, and do you want to switch or do you want to cancel? If you decide to keep using the services, obviously, then you would go to the pricing and see which ones you want to use for the pay-as-you-go services. That will be based on your characters used per month, okay? So that's Amazon. That's another one of the more difficult ones to set up because, again, there is a lot to go through. But we're going to get into the easy ones here, and things are going to start picking up a little bit. So next we have the CereProc. This is CereProc Web Services. And if we click on add here, you see we need, again, an email and a password, just like we did with the Acapela Cloud. Okay, so now we're going to go to CereProc website here. This is another paid one. But what we want to do is we want to create an account here. So here's all of our voices. You can see there's quite a bit. They have different languages and all of that. These are all of the supported languages that they have. And then, of course, you can get in touch with them if you need to. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to create an account. All right. So here, instead of signing in with Google, because with the Google sign in, it's not going to store your password and whatnot locally on the CereProc website, which is what we need to use for StreamerBot to sign in. So we're actually going to create our own login with our email and our password. And we're going to log in with that. Okay. Once we've created the account, we have to verify our email first. Once we verified, now we can sign in, click on login, and now we're in. And now we can go back here. We can come in and we can click on CereProc. We can type in our email address and our password, and there it is. So now that we have the CereProc services, there we go, 218 voices added for them. And this is all with, of course, the various languages and stuff. So make sure you pick the one for your correct language. All right, up next, we're moving on. We're almost done. We have the ElevnLabs. So we're going to click on ElevnLabs. This one's asking for an API key, right? Okay, so we're going to go to the ElevnLabs one now. ElevnLabs is another paid service. They do have a free one. So we're going to go ahead and click Get Started for free. We're going to sign in with our account here. You can sign in with your email if you want to. This one doesn't matter because it's not asking here. It's not asking us for our login credentials. We're going to get an API key from ElevnLabs. So you can actually sign up with this one, unlike the CereProc where it needed you to store the password on the website so that it could basically sign in for you. So once we've got our account signed in, we may need to verify. It's going to ask you some welcome steps. We're just going to say other. We're using it for personal use. We're using it for fun. It's going to set up our account. And here we go. So now that we are in our dashboard, we want to find our API key. Okay, so to do this, what we're going to do, let me move my head real quick. All right, so once we're logged into the ElevnLabs, you're going to come in here. We're going to click on our little name down here in the very bottom left, and then we're going to see API key. So we're going to click on that, and as you can see, we get 10,000 free credits. Again, this is characters, one character per credit. So that's our free account. ElevnLabs is a paid service, but they do have a free little tier. So now we click on the API. We want to create an API key. We're going to give it a name. I'm just going to name it SpeakerBot, because why not? And then we're going to click on create. There is our key. We're going to copy that to our clipboard. Obviously, it's not very invisible, but that's fine. And then we're going to click on OK and give it a second to load in. And then, of course, as you can see, ElevnLabs is there. And then we have 100 voices that we can use for ElevnLabs. Now, remember, again, until you pay, and obviously I didn't sign in anything. And then, of course, because I did show you, like I can turn this off and I can disable this key so that nobody else can use it. So all of you stream snipers out there, haha, good luck, right? And then I would just like create a new one offline or whatever if I wanted to use that. But I'm not going to do that for now. It's just, I'm going to delete all these accounts anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but you know, good luck. But please don't try to hack my shit. Thank you. All right. So moving on, that's ElevnLabs. It's fairly simple. Like I said, they're getting a little bit easier. Google Cloud now, this one again wants the credentials file. Okay, so we're going to have to get a credentials file from Google, and then we're going to upload that here. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to click on the Google Cloud link in the description below, and we're going to get down here. This is the text-to-speech API. Let me zoom out a little bit. Sorry, you don't want to make you all dizzy. And we're going to try it for free. This is going to ask us to verify our account, and you should already be logged in if you're logged into YouTube or anything like that, or any other Google service, which is great. We're going to say, yes, that's the account I want to use. And then it's going to ask for the payment verification. If you are signed up already for any of the Google AdSense or the YouTube payouts or anything like that, it's going to populate that with your camera information. Else it'll ask you to log in. I kind of skipped over that section, the step 2 of the sign in process, because mine was already signed in. Obviously, it has my personal information on there, so we're going to cut that out of the video. But basically, if you're already signed in, just verify everything is there and click continue. If it's not there already, if you haven't signed up for any of the Google paid services like that, then you will have to enter your information, basically name, phone number, address, and then your credit card information, of course. Now, with the Google text-to-speech, you are going to get $300 in credit to spend over the next 90 days. So you're only going to get 3 months, basically, of the free stuff, but we're going to go ahead and go through this here. We are a other. Please specify. This is just a bot API. Okay, we're going to click on next. What brought you to Google? Use a specific service. Where are you interested in doing with the Google Cloud? Other APIs, text-to-speech, speech-to-text, vision. And what best describes your role? We are whatever you want to be. We're the CEO. Cool. So we want the Cloud Text-to-Speech API. We want to enable this. We're going to click on enable. It should enable it for us. Okay, next, after we've got that enabled, we're going to come over here to the top right or top left. We're going to click on the navigation menu and we want to go to our API and services. That's going to load this page here. We're going to go ahead over here on the left again, and we're going to click on credentials. And so after we've clicked on credentials here, we're going to come down to service accounts, and we're going to manage the service accounts. We want to create a service account. This service account, we're just going to give it a name. We're just going to call it again SpeakerBot. Speaker account ID, SpeakerBot. That's fine. Description, this would just be TTS. Create and continue. Okay. Grant the service account project. We're going to give this service an owner role. It gives it full access. We're going to click continue. We don't want to grant any access users to this account, so we're just going to click on done. So now that we have our service here, and we want to come over here to the right, let me zoom in a little bit. I want to come in. So this is the account we just created. It is enabled. We want to come over to the actions, the 3 little dots. We're going to click on this and we're going to click on manage keys. And then once this loads, and this site is very slow, so give it time to load everything before you start clicking around. Okay, so now we need to add a key. And we're going to create a new key. And we want the JSON file. Okay. So this is the new one. The P12 is for backward compatibility. This will not work with SpeakerBot. So make sure that JSON is selected. And then we're going to click on create. And it should download this little JSON folder. We're going to store it somewhere safe. So in your SpeakerBot directory, for example, or if you have a specific place for all of your streaming stuff. But I'm just going to put mine on my desktop because, again, I don't use this service. So I'm going to end up closing it anyway. So once we have that JSON file downloaded, now we can actually go back to SpeakerBot. And if you remember, it's asking for the credentials file. So we're going to click on here. We're going to go to wherever you saved it. We're going to click on it and click open. And then we're going to click OK. And there you see Google Cloud is now enabled with 550 voices. And again, remember, this is another paid service, though. We have basically, we have $300 worth of credit for 90 days you get with this sign up. But after that, it will be pay to use. So Make sure that you are aware of that. And again, just like with the Amazon, you will get an email saying, hey, your credit has run out or your time has run out. We're going to start charging you, and select your payment plan. All right. Next is the IBM Watson. And this one, again, is another one that needs a credentials file. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go back to the IBM Watson website. So the same thing, pretty much exactly as it is with the Google one. Okay. So we're going to start a free trial here. Let me zoom out. So we're going to go to the IBM Watson text-to-speech website, again, linked in the description below, like all the other ones. We're going to click on start your free trial. And this is going to be the exact same thing, pretty much. It's going to, we're going to accept all your cookies. So once your email address, you're going to verify your email, your personal information. So we're just going to go ahead and do this here. We're going to set a password. We're going to say next. It's going to send a verification email. So let's get that code. Okay, this one it expires in 30 minutes, so you have some time, but this email actually came a lot quicker than the other ones. We're going to click next. So just so you know, the company name on this one is actually required. You can just put self. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to like fake anything. Just put self. So we're going to do that. Account notice, you like IBM to use our contact deals. We can actually uncheck the email and phone and then click on continue. How did we hear about it? Blah, blah, blah. It's going to tell you what data is collected. You acknowledge. It's your basic terms of service from any of this stuff. And now we're coming into the IBM Cloud. We're preparing our session. Everything's got to load because everything is so slow these days. Okay. So with this one, we got a secure verification. We're going to get a $200 US cloud credit for free to use over the next 30 days. So unlike the Google one, which gives you $300 to use over 90 days, you're going to get $200 to use for 30 days. And we can get started for free. It is going to ask for your credit card information, but you won't be charged until you cancel or move on. Okay. So with this stuff, we're just going to say we are personal, and then it's going to ask for our billing information and then our credit card information. And you know how that goes. You know how to enter these information into your web browser. So I'm going to go ahead and do it, and then we'll skip this part of the video so you don't get my information. All right. So once that's in, you're going to come to this page. Basically, it's going to tell you that the promo code has already been activated. So we get our $200 free. But let me zoom in here. We're going to select our location. Now, there are a few locations to select from, depending on where you're located. If you're in North America, Europe, or Sydney, Tokyo, North America has two options. We're going to go ahead and pick Dallas because that's closest to me. But what you see here is the important part. We're on the light plan. We get 10,000 characters per month for free. If we upgrade to a paid plan, we'll get more options to have more characters and the cost and all that. But the cost, just so you know, is 2 cents per 1,000 characters. So even with this one, you're not going to break the bank. But remember, it is characters, not words. Okay. And then the premium plan, it tells you all of this stuff here. And then we have the service name, the group, any tags or access management tags that you want to add. Once you have all of those selected, over on the far right, it'll go over and tell you we're on the free plan. We have to come down and say that we've read and agree to the following license agreements, and we're going to create. Okay. So once that's loaded, we're going to click on manage over here on the far right here. And this is going to have a little tutorial. It's going to tell us about our plan, but what we want here is the credentials. So it's going to have our API key. It's going to have the URL, but what we're interested in is the download. So we're going to save this somewhere safe. It is going to be an env file, which doesn't really matter, but we're going to go ahead and save that somewhere safe. So again, just like the other one from Google, we want to save it in our SpeakerBot directory or in our streaming directory, somewhere permanent, somewhere safe. I'm just going to save mine to my desktop because I'm going to get rid of it later, obviously. But once we have that, we're going to go into SpeakerBot. We're going to add IBM Watson. We're going to click on the little three-dot menu to browse to that file. Remember, it is the env file right there. We're going to click open, and then we're going to click OK. And once that's loaded in, you will once again see the IBM Watson TTS voice has 52 voices, male and female, and they are in English, French, Korean, Japanese, etc. So you can choose from those as well. All right. Up next, we have SAPI 5. Now, SAPI 5 is the easiest one to do. There are no websites to go to. This is the Windows API level 5. It is the voices that are built into your computer. So by default, I think it is Zara and David, something like that. We're just going to click on SAPI 5. And as you see, it's already added there. So there it is, Zara and David. You only get 2 voices. Of course, these voices will depend on what language pack you use in your Windows environment. But that's it. They're free. They're free forever as long as you're running on Windows, which if you're using SpeakerBot, you should be, because it doesn't work on anything else at the moment. But yeah, that's it. SAPI 5, 2 voices, but they're completely free forever. And if you just want basic TTS on your channel, these are the easiest ones to go with because you just add them and there they are. Okay, moving on though, we have TTSMonster. Now this is one of the ones, it's very fun to use, but it does have some limitations and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. We're going to go here. So basically what you want to do is go to the TTSMonster website. You're going to click on Get Started, and then you're going to sign in either with YouTube or Twitch. Doesn't matter which one, whichever service you are using this on. I'm going to go ahead and just sign in with my Twitch account. And then there we are. Say okay to all this. Now, this has an overlay URL for stream elements built in by default, but here's a couple things we want to do. Now, notice this here, on the basic plan, this is the free plan, you get 400 TTS messages. This is an entire message, not just a character, not a word, but you only get 400 messages per month. So if you're going to go over that, you're going to have to change to a paid plan. Okay. What we want to enable though here are the voices. So at the very top over dashboard, we want to go over to voices. Now, the enabled voices here, you will see that there are some that are gray or purple, and then you have the ones with the red box. Now, the red box voices are only available if you have a premium or a paid plan. Otherwise, you get just the non-premium ones. So we're going to go ahead and up here on the top right, we're going to click on Select All, and this will select all of the free voices or all the voices you are able to use for your plan, which is for the free plan is about half of them. And then we're going to click on Save. To save our voice selection, we're going to get the verification that it has been saved. And now we're going to go back to our dashboard. Now, used to, if you're on an older version of SpeakerBot, you had to open this URL here and unlock it, paste it like in Notepad or something, and find the specific section that had the API key in it. But Nate, as far as version 1.4 and of course into 1.5 now, Nate has done away with that, and he has it set up where SpeakerBot will automatically pull the section it needs from this URL. So you don't have to do it manually. All we have to do is click on the little copy icon right here. We don't even have to show it. It'll tell you that it's been copied. And then we're going to go back to SpeakerBot. And then we're going to come in here, and I'm just going to delete what was already there. Okay, so you'll have something like this. We're just going to come in here and Control V and paste. And then we're going to click OK. And then the TTSMonster is there. And it has 70 voices that we have selected. So now we have all of these voices as well to use in the program. So fairly simple as far as TTSMonster goes. You just have to sign in and select your voices. Make sure you save, and then make sure that you don't go over the 400 messages per month. If you do think you're going to go over the 400 per month, this might be something that you use only for like your moderators or VIPs, something like that. Otherwise, you're going to want to use a plan that does something like pay by the character, where you can get millions or even hundreds of thousands of characters for a low cost, or you can pay for TTS Premium. And up next, we have the final one, UberDuck. Now, with UberDuck, you're going to need a client ID and a secret key, much like some of the other ones. But what I will warn you about right now is UberDuck is kind of going by the wayside. They are making their things much more difficult. Their AI voices got in a lot of trouble last year. They had to remove all of them. They've slowly been able to add a few of them back. But because of the way UberDuck is going, the way they are handling things, it is highly, highly likely that UberDuck TTS will be removed from SpeakerBot in the next version or next couple of versions, unless they actually kind of get their shit together. But for now, it is an option, so I'm going to cover how to do that. Okay, so we're going to go to the UberDuck website, and we're going to sign up. And you can sign in with Google with a magic link, or you can create your own stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and sign up with Google. I'm going to continue. Are we a student? No. Who do you work for? You can just say anything here. I'm a content creator. What do we do regularly? We do none of these, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. So once we're in here, and then as you can, let me show you here. We have 300 credits per month that we can use with UberDuck. Now the credits again go by, I believe it is actually messages, but you can of course upgrade if you are going to go over that. So it's not very much, 300 messages per month for free. Otherwise you have to pay for them. Okay. But we need to get our keys and stuff. So we're going to go to account. Okay, and when you go click on account, you're going to be met with this page. It'll have your login information. You can edit your account details. You can delete your account. But what we're interested here is the API keys. So we want to create a new API key. So down here at the bottom, we're going to click on create new. We're going to give it a name. I'm just going to say SpeakerBot TTS, and we're going to click on create key. And then it's going to give you a public key and a secret key. Now, these are not invisible, as you can see. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy this one over. This is the basic key. And we're going to go back to SpeakerBot. This is the client ID. And then your secret key here, make sure you get the entire thing. And you're going to paste that in, the secret key, and you're going to click OK. And then UberDuck will be there with the 35 voices that they currently have available, which is a far cry from what they used to have. And you can use those again for the 300 credits per month, right? And that's it. That's how you do that. Now, if you want to do any of these here, let's reload this page. And you can see that our secret keys are here. What we want to do is you cannot actually get rid of them. So you can create a new one. But if you want to get rid of an API key, you're going to have to basically delete your account and re-sign in and start over. There you go. Now that you have all of your engines that you want, your speech engines added, to use them, you can follow along with the other SpeakerBot tutorial that I have that shows you how to create voice aliases and things like that. For your people, you can have a default voice. Your VIPs and subscribers can have their own voices, and this is where you would select those all. But I'll have the little bubble come out to let you know and link to that tutorial where I cover everything in SpeakerBot step by step so that you can get those going. But this one, I just wanted to show you how to add all of the different speech engines, because as you can see, they are quite different, and some of them are more detailed and convoluted than others. Now, one thing I do want to cover here is if you decide there is one that you don't want to use anymore, like UberDuck, you just want to select it here, make sure it's highlighted, and then click on remove. And then it'll just be gone from the list. It'll no longer be active in your thing. All right. But yeah, that should just about do it for us. So there you are. Speech engines in SpeakerBot, all of the available ones as of current version 1.5 that are available to use. Now you know how to set them all up and add them to SpeakerBot. So have fun with it, guys. Just keep aware of which ones are paid, which ones are free, and even the paid ones, how much you get so that you don't go over your limits, because they can either break or they will charge you overage fees, which can be quite high at times. So understand which ones you're going to be using. I would get a couple of free ones like the Sappy 5, or even like the Amazon Poly, which is free for an entire year, basically unlimited. And that way you have some fallback, and then use your paid services, or like the TTSMonster, or even like ElevnLabs, where you get a limited number per month, and use those for more of your special things that aren't used quite as often, like a TTS mascot, for example. But the regular TTS, you want those voices to be on your free accounts so that it's not eating into your budget. All right. But other than that, I hope you liked the video. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hi, we're glad to have you here. I hope you learned something today. I hope it helped you out. If it did, click on the little subscribe button down below, and feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions or any concerns or anything like that, with anything about adding speech engines, of course. And if you have an idea for a new tutorial that you want to see or something you want me to cover, you can leave that in the description below. But for faster service, go ahead and click the link down below for joining my Discord server, the Bearded Pint. I have an entire section in the server for all of these tutorials: the bot help, streaming help, Twitch, YouTube, all of it. I even have a section for requesting tutorials, and you post something in there. I tend to get to those first, but I will attempt to do a tutorial on pretty much anything that is asked for or covered, as long as it is streaming related in some way. If you happen to find this video not good for any reason, go ahead and give me the thumbs down. All I ask is that if you do give me a thumbs down, you leave a comment below and let me know why you thumb down, what it is you didn't like. That way I can make changes going forward, to bring better tutorials to you and to everybody else. So thank you for that feedback, and we'll see you next time. But until then, everybody, love, peace, and chicken grease.